In this episode of Past Paradise, we learn about Linda Ronstadt, a musical diva whose voice defined a generation. Ronstadt, the queen of rock with a 40-year career, was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. This severe disease reduced her singing skills, silencing one of music's most renowned voices. Despite this terrible setback, Linda Ronstadt inspires millions via her records and support for Parkinson's awareness and research. We'll discuss her remarkable legacy and diagnosis and how she still touches hearts without her soaring voice. Star is born. The adventure began on July 15, 1946, when Linda was born in Tucson, Arizona. Linda's father introduced her to Mexican music when she was very little. Therefore, she was meant for music from the beginning. Linda had a wide selection of instruments since her mother played the ukulele and her father played the guitar. It's fairly obvious which string she chose. In a trio, Linda played the guitar with her brother and sister. Her love of music at Catalina High School led her to meet local folk artist Bob Kimmel. When the older musician moved to Los Angeles, he tried to persuade Linda to pursue a music career. Proven track record. In 1989, Linda became even more well-known after releasing the multi-platinum albums Cry Like a Rainstorm and Howl Like the Wind, and receiving an Emmy Award for her Canciones de mi Padre performance on stage. The CD also included a well-known duet with Aaron Neville, a man who would become very important in her life. When Linda realized she could have a big impact on the Spanish music market, she recorded 2 further albums in Spanish in 1991 and 1992. The well-known singer never felt at ease and kept experimenting with other musical styles. While Linda's career as a musician was unstoppable, her personal life was more tumultuous. Politics damages image. At a 2004 performance at a Las Vegas casino, Linda Ronstadt dedicated a song to filmmaker Michael Moore, who had recently released his controversial documentary Fahrenheit 9/11. She defied social convention by referring to the performer as a great American patriot who is seeking the truth. This caused a stir, with some audience members even tearing down posters. The Aladdin Hotel Casino's manager, Bill Timmons, remembers, "It was a very ugly scene. After she showered him with admiration, things got mad. As Bill puts it, she suffered consequences for her actions. Spoiled a wonderful evening for our guests, and we had to do something about it. Then he led her outside and stated, 'She won't play while I'm here.'" A medical struggle. Before announcing her retirement in 2011, Linda Ronstadt continued to perform and collaborate with other artists. She then disappeared from view. When Linda disclosed in August 2013 that she'd been diagnosed with a Parkinson-like illness that prohibited her from singing, it shocked and saddened a lot of people. In her book, Simple Dreams, Linda discusses her great career and subsequent medical fight. She clarifies, "I couldn't sing, I couldn't figure out why. I think I've had it for 7 or 8 years already because of the symptoms that I've had. Then I had a shoulder operation, so I thought that's why my hands were trembling." Not exactly same. Linda has continued to explore music distinctively, even after learning of her condition. She's been open and truthful about her journey. Although Linda admits she can't sing in real life, she can sing in her imagination. The brain cells that control cognition, movement, and coordination have died. Thus, she's no longer able to sing aloud. Regretfully, Linda's mind has an odd sense of humor. "My brain chooses the worst music," she admits, adding that it's not quite the same, and that sometimes I choose the song and sometimes my brain chooses the song. "I can't get the tune out of my head. It sounds like very bad Christmas songs." Linda can't sing, yet she has one of the biggest achievements in the music industry. Can you identify what it is? Hall of Fame. A musician gets inducted into the Hall of Fame for music to recognize their long-standing impact and major contribution to the music industry. This prestigious honor cemented the artist's legacy as a cherished and important figure in the industry. When Linda was inducted into the Hall of Fame in April 2014, it was her moment to shine. She managed to shake hands with then-President Barack Obama at the White House when she received the National Medal of Arts, despite being unable to attend the event owing to her poor health. Fans who want to learn more about Linda Ronstadt's amazing career may view the documentary The Sound of My Voice. Facts about Cher. Award after award for her work in theater and movies includes Oscars, Grammys, world records, and a fan base that rivals her iconic wig collection. Beneath the diva exterior, however, lie a troubled past, 2 turbulent marriages, her son's challenging transition, a multi-million-dollar lawsuit, and that's not even all. Let's investigate the story and learn 36 of her most astounding facts now. The 2 fathers. Cher's father could never live away from the limelight, while her mother pursued a career in show business. During the day, John Sarkisian drove trucks. At night, he gambled away the money he made. Daddy's drug addiction caused him to depart Cher's mother when she was only a few months old. So he left her younger half-sister, who was adopted later, and Cher, who was raised by her mother's second husband. Bono Almond's development. Although Cher is well known for simply using one name, her real name is somewhat lengthier. She even initiated a trend adopted by celebrities, including Adele, Madonna, and Kylie. After being adopted by her mother's second husband, she changed her name from Sherilyn Sarkisian to Sherilyn Sarkisian LaPierre. Given that Cher was married twice in the 1970s and had 2 new names, Sherilyn Sarkisian LaPierre Bono Almond, it seems natural that she would want to simplify things. Turning into Cher. Cher's first single, All I Wanna Do, was released in 1964. Her name wasn't quite right for the stage, so she adopted Bonnie Jo Mason when she was just 18. However, neither the song nor the pseudonym succeeded, so she changed her identity again and teamed up with Sonny Bono to become Caesar and Cleo. After a few more years, they changed their name again and started going by Sonny and Cher. After divorcing her second husband in 1979, she formally changed her stage name, which she'd been using at the time, so technically she's just Cher now. The creation of. Although it took them some time to unite, Cher became well known as half of the romantic, musical, and theatrical duo Sonny and Cher. Her boss, Phil Spectre, was introduced to Cher by him. She was much more interested in him. When they first met at a coffee shop in Los Angeles, Cher said the only thing she liked about him was his hair, characterizing it as something in between Caesar and Napoleon. Given that Spectre wrote songs for Tina Turner, the Beatles, and other well-known performers, Cher aspired to be among the greatest musicians ever. Cleaning to singing. As luck would have it, Cher's desire came true when he asked her to become a cleaner on his staff. Although Cher wasn't planning on cleaning, she seized the opportunity to meet Spectre since she knew of his influence in the music industry. After accepting the job, she quickly advanced to the position of background vocalist. He realized then how talented she was, and everything changed for the future star. She would no longer be singing in the background. Make poor decisions. Cher is one of only 5 singers in history to have achieved the uncommon accomplishment of winning an Oscar and hitting #1 on the charts concurrently. The other 4 members of this select club are Frank Sinatra, Barbra Streisand, Jamie Foxx, and Bing Crosby. Her 2 achievements are her #1 hit single, Believe, and an Academy Award for Moonstruck. However, she acknowledges that even the greatest of the best sometimes make bad choices, citing her performance in the 2010 film Burlesque as evidence. That it was a lousy movie was always a sadness, and she chastised the project's director, Steve Anton, stating, "It could have been a much better film. What a terrible director, and appallingly poor writing." She doesn't think. Cher may be the only person in the world who would describe most of her albums as absolutely not good, but she's always been open about her dislikes of her work. Although she likes the process of singing and practicing, she said that she isn't always satisfied with the result, so she tries to disobey her advice and sincerely likes performing in front of an empty house. Sonny and Cher's divorce. They may have seemed like the perfect couple as they'd built their whole company on their romance, but things weren't exactly as they seemed. Since they split in 1975, Cher has been quite open about some of the more significant issues that harmed their relationship. She highlighted Sonny's authority and said he wouldn't allow her to spend their joint salary. She described him as a Sicilian man of his generation. His behavior undermined her self-esteem. She gave Autotune. Though it wasn't Cher's first pick, Believe has become one of her best-ever hits. This is why she decided to attempt auto-tuning. Auto-tuning is a common practice on albums, but strangely, it had never been used on a single before. But after witnessing someone use a vocoder on British TV, she was inspired to give it a go. And as a result, she had a #1 hit, won a Grammy, and spearheaded a movement that changed the course of musical history. She's received assistance. Cher has never hidden her passion for cosmetic surgery. She's spoken of having her nose, breasts, and teeth altered, among other things, but she hasn't always stated clearly why. When Vanity Fair questioned her, she said she wasn't sure whether it was an act of self-love or self-loathing. Either way, she said that she thinks her career peaked around 40, and she's been trying to reverse the declining trajectory ever since. Stage fear. It's incredible that a mid-70s diva wearing a leotard and taking the stage ever felt anxious. But it seems today that her stage fright led her to join her ex-husband Sunny in business. She was reportedly so anxious that she was frightened to enter the stage by herself and couldn't stand to face the audience. He joined her for support, and she developed her signature move of singing into the eyes to avoid having to sing to the crowd. Military loved, hated. Cher has an unusual relationship with the military. On one hand, she has dedicated a significant amount of her career to serving them. She established a nonprofit organization that works with Operation Helmet to provide modern helmet kits to veterans of Iraq and Afghanistan. She's also pushed for improved equipment for U.S. military troops. However, she also sparked much controversy when she appeared on the USS Missouri in the music video for her song If I Could Turn Back Time wearing an improper outfit. Her relationship strained. Her son Elijah and her haven't always had a smooth relationship. She enrolled him in a boarding school when he was only 7 years old in an attempt to protect him from his drug-addled father. However, her efforts were futile as he expressed that he felt shunned and started using drugs at the age of 11. Like his father, he developed a heroin addiction and began to lose control. There have been long stretches since then in which he and Cher have not communicated. Still, they've managed to salvage their romance, and as Blue puts it, she's Cher. What's not to like? Rock and roll. However, Cher isn't happy about not being included in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame since it's one thing she doesn't have. It just seems kind of rude because we were a huge part of a certain kind of music and we lasted for a very long time, she said in response to a question on the touchy subject. Cher is the recipient of several music awards, a Golden Globe, an Academy Award, a plaque on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and more. Daughter came out. Cher's supporters expected that, given her reputation as a homosexual icon, she would respond to the news gracefully. To their surprise, however, Cher became rather irate. She has since apologized for how her response came across and said she was just furious because she thought she was the last to hear. Cher named her daughter Chastity after the homosexual character she portrayed in Silkwood because she loved the role so much. Cher's daughter not only adopted her name but also came out as a lesbian in 1995, following in her footsteps. Converting to Chaz. Cher initially reacted negatively to Chastity's pregnancy announcement, but has since supported Chastity's decision to become Chaz. She's admitted that occasionally she finds it difficult to use the appropriate pronouns, but she openly and wholeheartedly supports him. "I respect that, but it's been difficult for my mother," Chaz said. Since then, Chaz has done amazing work advocating for transgender rights and going on to become an actor in his own right, appearing in American Horror Story. It's a process of mourning a child you've lost and learning to live with the new one in its place. He's also had an extraordinarily successful weight loss journey, having lost over 60 pounds through diet, exercise, and hard work. Bravo, Chaz! Discreet about opinions. Moreover, we mean nothing when we say nothing is off limits, including politics. Cher has become well known for being extremely outspoken about her dislike of one political figure, former President Donald Trump. Cher didn't hold back and even got into a private online altercation with the president about his artificial hair. joining a chorus of celebrities who voiced their disapproval at his nomination. Lastly, Cher didn't hesitate to devour a cow's tongue when she was given the option of praising Trump or not on The Late Late Show with James Corden. Appeared in public. Sunny and Cher's relationship had its highs and lows. The world viewed them as the perfect couple, and their careers took off when they exchanged memento rings and married in a secret ceremony held in their bathroom in 1965. Later, Sunny said, "The public still thinks we're married, that's the way it has to be," which was exactly why everyone assumed they were happy and why they looked so content. Bidding Sunny farewell. They had just received their star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame for a week, and although Sunny acknowledged that the two didn't often have a romantic relationship, it was determined that they would stay together for their careers. When Cher filed for divorce, he responded saying, "America will hate you and you won't have a job." Nevertheless, the two were able to work out a friendship in later years, and Cher gave a moving eulogy when he passed away in a tragic skiing accident in 1998. Career was paused. Just as her career was taking off, Cher fell ill with the Epstein-Barr virus, also commonly known as mono. The illness made it difficult for her to sing, and it ended her singing career immediately because it caused, among other things, exhaustion, aching muscles, and sore throats. The illness prevented her from working for a full 2 years, and to make matters worse, she developed pneumonia while recovering. Union to another. It didn't take Cher long to move on from Sunny. 4 days after their divorce was finalized on June 30th, 1975, she tied the knot again, this time with legendary rock star Gregg Allman. Known for fronting the Allman Brothers Band and his history with drugs, their marriage was surprisingly challenging. He would take heroin every day and drink a liter of vodka from the start. Marriage 9 days. According to Cher, Allman was so high he didn't even understand me. As a result, their intense marriage only lasted 9 days before Cher filed for divorce for a second time. Allman convinced her to stay by promising to make changes in an attempt to keep them together for longer than 2 weeks, but he filed for divorce the next year. It appears that he felt unsafe with her relationship with Sunny when they resumed their business partnership to bring back the Sunny and Cher show. Once again, more. However, when everyone thought they would call it quits, Cher unexpectedly became pregnant with her second child. The couple made another attempt, desperate to keep their relationship alive and start a family. It looked like their efforts would succeed for a while because they welcomed Elijah Blue into the world in 1976 and even worked together on an album called Allman and Woman. The Allman's demise. Cher wrote a song about him called My Song, Too Far Gone, in which she sang, "Too far gone and he doesn't know. He'll never get to know his son." Despite their issues, they remained friends until he died in 2017. Cher could not handle the constant fear of his former way of life returning, no matter how hard they tried. Therefore, they separated officially in 1977, and 2 years later, their long-awaited divorce was granted. Sunny's new spouse. After Sunny's divorce, he remarried and moved in with Mary Bono until his death. While Cher was reportedly fine with her getting back together with her ex-husband, she wasn't cool with her managing their music, refusing to pay royalties on several of the couple's hit songs, including I Got You, Babe, and The Beat Goes On. Following her husband's death, Mary renounced their agreement to an equal division of their community property and sent Cher a notice of termination. Consequently, Cher is suing Mary for a sum believed to exceed $1 million. We don't want to be the ones getting in trouble with Cher. If you've watched the video till here, that means you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notifications bell icon